In a stunning turn of events, I just put out a video that Shams Charania and James L. Edwards III, the beat writer for The Athletic and national insider for The Athletic, put out that the Pistons are making another run at Monty Williams. Last week, we reported that Monty Williams had declined the offer to coach the Pistons, and it was big money. Now they're going to make an even bigger money offer to Monty Williams, over $10 million a year. But the report is, because Monty Williams is telling all teams interested that he is planning to take a year off as he's owed $20 million over 3 years. The report is Charles Lee, if Monty Williams declines the proposal, is expected to emerge as the likely candidate to be sought after if they do go ahead and move on from Monty Williams, if he's going to be continue to decline the proposal. So yes, Charles Lee, a Bucks assistant since 2018, Mike Budenholzer's assistant since like 2014 when he was with Atlanta, is expected to emerge as the likely choice, league sources tell The Athletic. Now, I love this. And we all know that general manager Troy Weaver is the guy in charge, and the Pistons made it clear that they'd enter the coaching search with the intention of slow playing the process. And before the Monty Williams situation, we knew that Charles Lee, associate head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks, and former UConn and overtime elite coach Kevin Ollie, and New Orleans Pelicans assistant and former Golden State Warriors assistant Jerron Collins were all named 3 finalists. Then Monty Williams got fired. The whole Detroit coach search went quiet. And before that had happened, Kevin Ollie had kind of emerged as the front runner because of his relationship with Troy Weaver back when he almost got the job instead of Billy Donovan. But Billy Donovan ended up getting the job. However, last week we found out about the Monty Williams, and that's why this whole thing went quiet. And we learned that Jerron Collins had dropped out the race and that the 2 finalists were now Kevin Ollie and Charles Lee after Monty Williams had declined. Now that we learned that they're going to make one more run at Monty Williams, and if he declines that proposal, the Pistons are hiring Charles Lee. And I like that hiring. He's a guy that Charles Lee has been named, one of the top 40 under 40 coaches and assistants in the NBA, okay, by The Athletic. And he's a guy that I think people need to have an eye on, okay? He's basically been coaching in the NBA for over a decade now, okay? And he's a guy that I think people don't realize that he's been a hot name. Shout out Mike Verkanov. I've interviewed him on my channel and actually finally met him in person, got his number and stuff. And this is a guy who's 9 seasons in the NBA as an assistant, all 9 spent on Mike Budenholzer's bench, first in Atlanta, now Milwaukee. And he had been part of the 40 under 40, and he's a guy who has a lot, okay? He's just a guy who says that he understands the game, doing his homework, watching the film, going back and forth, and just finding the opportunities, okay? And just, looking for the other guys and making people step up. Like in his interview, he brought up Lindell Wigginton, Javon Carter, Jordan Nwora, okay? And talking about how to learn to accept rejection. And, it's just to be so young and to have his hard work pay off and just keep doing the thing and understanding and accepting feedback. I think this is a guy that'd be a good coach for them. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts as I take a sip of my coffee. What do you guys think of Charles Lee? I personally think it's a good opportunity for the Pistons to get a coach that is young and one of the more bright minds in the league. So I think that's just something to consider. And it could be a blessing in disguise that you might get one of the best coaches.